My next thing for the strategy, for my strategy packet, is answering questions. This one is going to be fairly easy, but it just gets the student to think about what they're reading, and I ask open-ended questions. I ask questions while I'm reading the story to them, just to get them involved so that they're thinking, using their minds about the story. Again, for time purposes, because it takes a long time to load, I'm going to, skip the story. But while I'm reading the story to them, I would ask them questions. And that's what this is about, answering questions, the students on the board. I would ask them, one of them's called Write Their Question, where, for example, if I was reading to them The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and I would say, what does the caterpillar turn into? What's the class answer? A butterfly. So that is my first one, right there. Meaning it's right there in the story. That student would be able to find that in the story. Second question I would ask is a think and search. It's a question based on the recall of the facts that can be found directly in the text. The answers are typically found in more than one place. So if it was like the hungry caterpillar, I could ask them something simple like, what was one of the foods that the caterpillar ate? And they could answer as a class, a cupcake. And I could make this fun, by doing like a popcorn, or if this was an individual student that I needed to work with, I might not use the board, maybe just, a piece of paper to make it more personal. The third question, because there's 4 questions, is the author and you. The questions require students to use what they already know and what they learned from reading the text and their prior knowledge of this. So then we may expand our learning into, how does a butterfly escape from the cocoon? And that way they can think about something that we've already learned, use that knowledge and into what we're learning now. And then the last part of the answering the questions, helping out a student, is considered on your own. The questions are answered based on what the student's experience and their prior knowledge. Reading the text may not be helpful to them when answering this type of question. So, for example, I would say, how would you feel if the caterpillar wasn't able to get the food that it needed in order to become a beautiful butterfly? And that would get them thinking. That way they can use their emotions and say, I would feel sad, I would feel scared, etc. And that way I could also work on their handwriting skills along with it.